football. Soccer? The creators called it football. Soccer? You know, you play it with your feet. Reading between the headlines. Soccer? But it's really called football. Soccer?
What is up, fam? Welcome back to Reading Between the Headlines. I'm Asaf Nisim, your host for another episode of Peruse the News, the live show where we catch up on the latest Chelsea news together, maybe some Premier League football and world football news as well, and of course, as per usual, we live football and prosper. That is a very important part of all of this. We got to live football and prosper. Okay, on the docket for today. First, we will take a look at my lineup predictions and see how well they matched up with the actual lineup against Manchester United on match day. Then we will check out Chelsea.com's post-match report, as they call it, and reflect on the match using that as a foundation. It's always nice to have a little bit of a feel good, warm and fuzzy foundation, and then get into the crap, because you know Chelsea.com ain't going to be reporting the crap on themselves, or maybe they will. No, they're not going to do that. But also, Colwill and Caicedo each had some post-match reactions themselves. We do have some quotes from there that we could check out. Next, after that, we will react to the Enzo Maresca post-match press conference, and that goes part and parcel with the end of the conference. I did review it, but we will check it out again. And after that, we will, as I was just speaking of, use my experience as a USSF, United States Soccer Federation referee, to zero in and discuss the infamous tackle by Lisandro Martinez on Cole Palmer in that match. There are a lot of opinions on this, and I've got one as well. Lastly, from the Daily Mail, Frank Lampard, Super Frank, emerges as candidate for the manager's job at a major European club. Which one will it be? Which one is it, guys? Do you know? After being recommended, quote, by former Everton colleagues. As a bonus, per usual, if we have any time at all, maybe we'll stock some of our favorite Chelsea player Instagrams, and maybe some alumni, maybe some not Chelsea affiliated players or staff altogether, but mostly Chelsea and mostly Chelsea affiliated, as the case is. Now, before we continue this, I got to stop right here. If you are new to the channel, or if perhaps maybe you're just not new, but a stalker of the channel, why not go ahead and like the stream, subscribe to the channel. We hit the notification bell, perhaps. We need you here. If you want to know when the live streams go on, you know, sometimes I do them willy-nilly. Sometimes I change up the times, like today, 7 p.m. I don't know the last time I did a 7 p.m., but you know what? Still figuring it out. This is our 26th live stream. So we're still kind of getting into it, you know, but the subscribers are growing all the time. And if you are a stalker or new to the channel, as I said, do yourself a favor, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, because guess what? Later on, you can tell all your friends that you were an early subscriber. You're that cool kid that liked the band before the band got huge, and you're going to tell everybody about it. And whether they believe you or not, you'll know. And that is what is important. Okay? Now, first things first. Let's start off the show with the last stream's poll results. I like to do a poll every stream, at least one poll per stream, and then post them on the next stream. That's fun, isn't it? So join in, especially answer those poll questions, so I have really proper data when Chelsea come run into the stream, to come to Reading Between the Headlines, and they say, Asaf, what was the result of your last stream's polls? And I'll just have it right there, and I'll be like, listen, lots of people answered this poll, so you want this data, or these data. Right? Okay, so the last stream's poll. Look at that. It was very simple, actually, because it was a pre-Manchester United match stream. And guess what? The Chelsea fans, which isn't always the case, said 100% that Chelsea will win. So there you go. Wow, I don't know why I brain farted there, but like I was trying to describe at a 100% response rate that Chelsea would win. That was probably the right terminology. But yeah, 100% said that Chelsea will win. Unfortunately, y'all probably know the result, and it wasn't a win for Chelsea. It could have been a loss, could have been worse. It ended up a draw away at Old Trafford. You'll find Chelsea fans are not going to be terribly upset about this, but it did feel like we were slightly the better team, and that maybe the 3 points would have been a real signifier as to what the end of our season will look like, or what will look like at the end of the season. But that is what it is. For today's poll, like I say, we got to do a poll every stream, okay? So for today's poll, I've already gotten it written out, and I'm going to throw it in there now for you. I just copy and paste it. Look, you can see in the chat box. Boom, it's coming up. Start a poll, and I will copy and paste it. Oh, yeah, there you go. Who has the best chance at winning the Ballon d'Or one day? Okay, and I'm going to put a few names in here. We're going to see if your unbiased opinions will come up with the right answer. And we'll know one day when they actually do win the Ballon d'Or, hopefully, or not hopefully, as the case may be. First things first, first players first, first options first. Cole Palmer. Cold. That's our boy. You know what? Why not even just throw in a little emoji there, and you'll be able to see it there. Boom. Little emoji. Cole Palmer with a little frozen face there. Oh, what's going on there? I need to move over that chat box, don't I? Okay, second option. You might have guessed it. Who's the other player in the Premier? These are all Premier League players because we're Premier League centric. Erling Haaland. He doesn't get an emoji because he's not cool. If he did, he'd probably be like Majin Buu. He looks like Boo. Doesn't he look like Boo? If anybody's a Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball GT fan, I don't know. Maybe I'll put up a split screen of Erling Haaland in the next poll. Him and Boo next to it. They kind of look similar. They look alike. I'm just saying that's the way I see it. But anyway, next, Mohamed Salah. He could do it, ladies and gents. I don't know. Obviously, we are looking at a bunch of top players for their respective teams. And here we go, last but not least, Bukayo Saka. Who of these four players will one day have a chance at winning the Ballon d'Or? Who has the best chance anyway? There we go. And engage, answer the poll, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll see how y'all do it. Very important that you answer honestly because, well, there's one. We want to be able to prove you right in the future. Okay, this is very important. We're going to come back in the future one day when one of these guys win it and be like, look, reading between the headlines has the most accurate polls. Okay, hopefully. Anyway, so there you have it. Answer the poll, guys. Engage. All right, moving on. As we mentioned, Chelsea headed over to Old Trafford this past Sunday, yesterday. Let's kick things off by seeing how accurate my lineup prediction was. And shocker, ladies and gentlemen, pretty damn accurate. Pretty damn accurate. As you could see, we got Jackson up front. We had Neto on the left, Palmer, Madueke, Lavia, Caicedo. We knew that given Enzo Fernandez's recent performances, there was no way that Maresca was going to throw him in there. And he played in midweek. He started in midweek. And the question was, what was going to happen at the back? Last time, this is actually the exact same lineup that played in the last Premier League match. And the question was always, is Maresca going to do this again? Because at the back, there are other options, right? Let's see, where it was. It was against Newcastle. Yeah, it was against Newcastle. And as you could see over here, I'll just throw it up over there right now. That was it last week. It was the same one. It worked out pretty well then, but it didn't quite work out this time. And we did see Cucurella come on in the second half for Malo Gusto, and James went back over to the right. Yeah, that is a fact. Just make sure that I'm right about that. Yeah, that was the case right at the start of the second half. But yeah, so we're looking at 100% here for the lineup prediction. There's not much to say there. I don't know that Maresca is going to keep doing this, honestly. It didn't quite work out. I've notoriously said in the past, I'm going to shrink it a little bit. I've notoriously said that I'm not a huge fan of fullbacks playing out of position. Like, I don't like it. Generally, I don't love it when right backs play at left back. It doesn't mean that I don't think it's ever the right decision. There were times when Azpilicueta played for Chelsea at left back, and I think it was the best decision because those were the two best players. And to be fair, well, I think the jury is out who's better for a balanced team between Malo Gusto and Cucurella. I think actually right now probably you can make an argument that Reece James is the weakest of the three. But the only reason I say that, not generally, I think Reece James is generally a world-class player that is probably, next to Cole Palmer, the best player at the club. And I don't think that's very controversial to say. But I usually feel like when, and this is just because we've seen him injured a lot and we've seen him come back from injury a lot for that reason. Reece James is usually not at his best coming back from injury. He takes a few games to get back into the swing of things, and then he starts to look like his old self. I'm not sure when that's going to happen. It hasn't happened yet. In fact, I have to say, there's some weird decisions by Reece James in these last two games. He got lucky. I remember distinctly there was one offsides moment where Reece James did that annoying thing where a defender will not be in line with the other defenders, and he will step forward to put an attacker of the opposing team in an offside position when the ball is played. And, very often they mess that up because it's too momentarily, and you could screw that up. The ball won't be played that very moment, or it'll be played earlier than you think, or whatever the case may be. And then the attacking player is in an onside position, and then you're out of position to be defending. So Reece James, I remember, did one of those moves. It worked out for him, lucky. But he also made a couple of just bad decisions in general. And I think, and we're not seeing him marauding forward. And maybe that's a tactical thing. Maybe that's a Maresca thing. But we're not seeing that so much. And that's kind of when you get sort of the full best out of a guy like Reece James, who is a savage, right, when he's in form. But so just as a little I guess not so much of a digression, but expounding on the topic, which is what is the best decision for back those two fullbacks in this system. And I'm not sure that it is best to have Reece James on the left and Malo Gusto on the right. It's kind of like maybe just got to bring Cucurella in and keep him on the left and decide between Reece James and Malo Gusto at the right back. Maybe Reece James starts and which stinks because I love both Reece James and Malo Gusto, and but Cucurella, he brings a little bit more balance with that left foot, just the way that it is. And it was interesting actually that Maresca did play Neto on the left, and he is a lefty, and I talk about this a lot, but Maresca made it clear a few press conferences ago that Neto he views as a right winger. It's Neto and Madueke on the right, Mudryk and Sancho on the left. Those were the options that he very specifically laid out. And so it looks like perhaps that isn't necessarily what he's going to do. And you know, he definitely left room for that when he made that point. But okay, so it didn't work out this time, obviously. The result wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best, right? Okay, we move on. And now we will move on to the Chelsea match report, which is the review of the match. Okay, here we go. I got it out here. Yeah, and there's as you can see, Caicedo celebrating. Of course, they put that. Oh, you can't even see his head there, can you? Let's go. Oh, that's not it. That is not. That would be just my little dashboard. That's a problem. And I've made this point before when you are producing your own show. When you're producing a show that you are hosting. Sometimes you have to make an adjustment in the middle of the match, and it might take a second, and it's a little boring, and it kind of ruins the timing of everything. But that is okay. It's going. It's happening. Making the adjustment. Why is this? Okay, you know what we're going to do here? Chelsea, we're just going to lower this so you could see his face. See the face on this dude. Yeah, there he is. Caicedo celebrating. He did have the solitary goal for Chelsea. Okay, and we move on. What are we doing? Here we go. Okay. So, until that moment, okay, so a brilliant volley from Moises Caicedo earned Chelsea a point at Old Trafford after Bruno Fernandes's penalty had put Manchester United in front midway through the second half. Until that moment, clear chances had been hard to come by. Noni Madueke hit the outside of the post with a header, while Marcus Rashford also struck the woodwork during a scrappy opening 45 minutes. It was scrappy. There weren't a lot of chances. The excellent Pedro Neto came close to putting us ahead as the contest opened up before Robert Sanchez felled Rasmus Højlund inside the box. Fernandes made no mistake from 12 yards. I gotta say, I'm not sure that people were so much chalking this up to Robert Sanchez. And to be fair, of the two, here, as you can see, goalkeepers, Onana had 6.3 FOTMOB rating and Sanchez had a 6.5, which both aren't terribly great ratings. And, you know, we don't put too much stock in the ratings on this channel. But let's be real. I think it was, you know, Sanchez didn't need to make that challenge. He's responsible. I mean, you have to say, of course, the defense has got to be partly responsible as well for giving up that penalty. But Sanchez didn't need to do that, and I give him most of the blame. Okay, he's the one who lunged in. Højlund was, yes, he was in basically, but Sanchez could have stood up, closed the angle, and stood strong right then and there, and allowed the defenders who weren't far off to get back and make the challenge. Of course, hindsight is 20/20, but it's always the case. This always happens with keepers that you feel that are a liability, and Robert Sanchez is a liability. This is why I feel that probably in the January transfer window, if not the January transfer window, then by the summer, Chelsea's going to be looking for a new keeper. Because as much as Sanchez, I kind of like Sanchez in many ways. He's one of these big, great reactions keepers. Like, he might make a save that he shouldn't make, but then he messes up in moments that he could have been more conservative. Coming out too early or too far, missing the ball. He's like a pretty dominant keeper in some ways, but then he's also a liability. What can I say? And he's good. He's really good with his feet. You know, he can distribute the ball, like the long ball. So there's definitely great things about him, but when you're at this level, you can't be a liability, okay? And that's going to be which is why obviously, in my opinion, Petrovic was preferred to him, because Pochettino decided, you know what? While Sanchez can do all these things real great, and he started as the preferred keeper, Petrovic's not a liability. He's not going to give up BS penalties, not often, and he's not going to do the thing that gets you in trouble, right? But Sanchez is. So that's why I think, especially at this point, because we've seen it a bunch of times, I think it's going to change. I think Chelsea are going to have the initiative to swap him out. That's my opinion. Like it or not, that's what I believe. So, team news. It was a familiar tale as Enzo Maresca again changed his entire starting 11 from our most recent fixture at Newcastle in the Carabao Cup. Yes, he reverted to the team that began the win over the Magpies a week ago, with Cole Palmer starting his 50th game for the Blues. Malo Gusto continued in his inverted right-back role. Man United's interim head coach, Ruud van Nistelrooy, had selected a strong side for their win over Leicester in midweek, and he opted to make just 3 alterations in that team. In came Andre Onana, Nusser Mazraoui, and Rasmus Højlund. And you do kind of, just to mention this again, you do kind of get the feeling that that we're dealing with a bit of a new manager bump, especially because Ruben Amorim had been appointed and was definitely watching, and players are going to want to look good once the new manager is appointed and watching, right? Asserting authority early, the contest started cagily, but burst into life in the 9th minute when Caicedo brilliantly stole the ball in midfield and invited Palmer to drive a goal. After teasing his way into the box, Palmer found Matthias de Ligt in the way of his goal-bound shot. I gotta say, holy crap, Moises Caicedo is really emerging as the player. Like, he's really showing his good side now. These days, these last few games. He had some really great moments going forward and defensively. I think he gave the ball away like once in the midfield. It wasn't even that close to the goal. Not that that's great, but as far as I remember, maybe, he really didn't give the ball away. He was really everywhere. And of course, he had the equalizing goal. So that's obviously going to look good as well. That gave the Blues confidence. We began to assert our authority and nearly took the lead when Madueke's near-post header from a corner hit the outside of the post. Levi Colwill fired the rebound into the side netting. There you go. I like Levi Colwill. How can you not like Levi Colwill? Okay. Midway through the first half, the hosts bared their teeth for the first time. Rashford's dangerous low center was kicked away by Robert Sanchez, with Fernandes unable to steer the loose ball on target. Then, after both teams had lost possession cheaply, Alejandro Garnacho curled straight at Sanchez. Yeah. Contest turned scrappy. It was scrappy throughout. The unforced errors kept coming, giving both teams chances to threaten on the break, albeit with no success. Palmer interrupted the scrappiness with a balletic touch that took him past Casemiro and Rashford. He had a few of those. Manuel Ugarte hastily stopped him in his tracks with a shove, earning a yellow card in the process. Diogo Dalot followed him into the book for a foul on Pedro Neto before the break. The half ended with a let-off, Rashford volleying a deep Fernandes cross against the crossbar and over. Yeah, he had a good chance there. There were chances, despite the game being a bit scrappy. Not the best display of football from either team. Probably less so from Manchester United. But there were chances for either side. That is for sure. And that was one of them. Ashford really could have scored there. Maresca sent on Marc Cucurella for Gusto at halftime, with James switching to right back and the Spaniard now inverting. It took until 10 minutes into the second period for a shot in anger. Palmer spread the play wide left to Neto, who scuttled into the box and drove a shot beyond both Onana and the far post. And that was really close. And Neto looked eager. He looked ready, sharp. Didn't actually end up capitalizing on anything. He did come so close at least once, like he was inches wide of the post. Let's see. The Chelsea support had a good view of it and gasped in frustration. They knew it was close. I guess they're talking about that Neto strike. Cucurella and Neto had shots from distance, blocked and saved respectively. Man United broke down the right. Fernandes teed up Garnacho 12 yards out, and he contrived to kick the ball against his standing foot. It looped gently into Sanchez's arms. Okay, a little specific for our means, but all right. Chelsea hit back as the game entered its final quarter. Sanchez was adjudged to have brought Højlund down as he controlled a diagonal Casemiro pass. Fernandes stepped up and, unlike the corresponding fixture last season, sent Sanchez the wrong way. Yeah, that's right. Good penalty. Sanchez, no chance. On came Enzo Fernandez and Mikhailo Mudryk, and the Ukrainians' first involvement was to jump over a superb Caicedo volley that brought us level on 74 minutes. Correct. That's probably one of his best involvements for Chelsea in general. When I saw Mikhailo Mudryk coming on, I was just like, really? That's what we're doing here, bro? That's your great idea? I mean, give me an effing break. Look at Mom, not messing around. Mudryk with a 5.6 rating. I mean, when you're bringing on, I would have loved to see, obviously, Nkunku come on. He wasn't that great against Newcastle, that effective. Obviously, we wanted to see more of him from him. But you bring on Nkunku, not Mudryk, dude. You know, that a few games back when Mudryk had that great game against Panathinaikos, or great relative to the rest of his performances, you kind of were like, I'm glad that Mudryk is doing well, but I hope this doesn't make Maresca want to play Mudryk more often, because this is Panathinaikos, man. They made him look good, okay? And when he came on, I was just like, dude, it literally did exactly that, and it's very unfortunate because for some reason Maresca still gives Mudryk some credit and thinks that he's going to save a game for us. And hell, I don't know. I don't want to, great if he does that the next time he comes on, but you bring on Nkunku. You don't bring on Mudryk. You know what? F it. You bring on Felix. You bring on Felix before you bring on Mudryk. I don't give a shit. Honestly, you don't bring on Mudryk to save a game for us. We were down 1 goal at that point. Obviously, it was Caicedo who scored it moments later, and Mudryk, okay, great, got out of the way. Great contribution, my friend. But no, he did nothing for the rest of the match. And you know Nkunku would have been causing problems. You know he would have done something, especially since he's just that player. Last game out against Newcastle in midweek, that was a fluke for him, okay? He usually looks dangerous, even if he doesn't end up scoring, okay? So credit must first go to Neto, who kept fighting down on and that's true, the right flank, and won a corner over it. And Neto is super fast too. Holy crap. Like, Mudryk is fast, but Neto is also very fast. And Neto's better. And Neto's just better, okay? Over it came, and though a Man United head met it, the ball looped out only as far as Caicedo. His first-time strike was straight and true, nestling in the bottom corner, beyond Onana's reach. I'll just say it again. Great goal from Caicedo, but not just that. The whole match was really, really good. Like a step up for Caicedo. He's been stepping up. But that match against United, he was probably the best player on the pitch for us. Obviously, Palmer is always there because he's that good, but sort of ineffective going forward. I mean, listen, he didn't score, he didn't assist, but he looked good. But Caicedo looked really good, really, really good. Okay, we nearly completed the turnaround 5 minutes later. Caicedo's pass was deflected into the path of Jackson because De Ligt slipped. The striker had his back to goal and opted to tee up Fernandes, who couldn't match his midfield partner's effort and steered his shot over the bar. Chelsea fought hard in search of a deciding goal, although Garnacho came closest to getting it with an angled strike that fizzed over Sanchez's bar. Yeah, that was scary. It was a curler on the right foot. Fernandes was much further away with a volley of his own soon after. Yeah, that is a moment that Enzo should have scored because Jackson did really great to tee him up, and Fernandes just didn't have his feet set or whatever you want to say, and he had a really good opportunity that just did not do well with. Okay, with time almost up, Caicedo proved his worth at the other end with a vital clearance to stop Garnacho's teasing delivery, finding a red shirt. It epitomized a superb all-round display from the Ecuadorian. Yes, 100%. Caicedo, mainstay now. I mean, you can't argue. He was so good. against United. It would have been just great if we would have been able to seal the deal and score that winning goal. But that wasn't to be the case. Colwell had some things to say. Oh, did I not? Okay, there we go. Colwell had some things to say, and I just click it. There it is. He said, oh, this is Caicedo. No, this is Colwell. That's Caicedo. Yeah. It was definitely huge. You've got two ways to react. This is after conceding the penalty, thanks to Robert Sanchez, who, again, just proving that he is a liability, and he will always get us in trouble here and there. So, good keeper, always going to be a liability. I predict that if cool, clever heads at Chelsea do the right thing, they're going to try and replace him in the near term. Just the way that it's going to be. He's not good enough. He's no Petr Cech. He's no even Petrovic, honestly. Okay. It was definitely huge. You've got two ways to react. You either put your head down or you get on with it and try to get the equalizing goal, which obviously we did. This is Levi Colwell. Moises is an amazing player, and we've got so many of them that when you're struggling in a game or when you're not scoring, they pull out that magic. We've been behind already this season, and we know you've got to react fast. We know we're a good team. We believe we're going to create more chances to score no matter the time in the game, and that happened yesterday. Yeah, true. Okay, so why is this not clearing? Interesting. Go to ESPN. There we go. Okay. But we'll switch this out. Yeah. Producer problems. There you go. Okay. Interesting. ESPN has changed the way that they do things here. So we're going to just quickly move this over. Sorry for this moment, y'all. Fixing it. Fixed. Okay. Producer problems. Okay. Here we go, though. Moises Caicedo had a couple things to say. It was the chance to score a goal. I did it. I'm so happy. Caicedo told BBC Sport, we knew if we waited for a long time to equalize, it was going to be complicated. I'm so happy to equalize. We deserved to win. We knew it would be a tough game, but we were prepared for it. I'm so happy for the team. It was a great fight. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we could have done it, and we didn't. Unfortunately, we didn't. What is going on? Oh, I see what I've got going wrong here. Okay, moving on. Guys, if you're in here and you haven't done so yet, do yourself a favor. Like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Why not, guys? Don't you want to be in on the secret before everybody else is? The secret being that this channel is awesome. Okay, now that next marketing pitch has been out of the way, let's go on to the Enzo Maresca press conference post-match. And here we go. I'll pull it up real quick here. Engage.
Okay, who wants to get us underway? Simon?
Enzo, was that a fair result in the end, in your opinion?
Sorry, what?
Was that a fair result in the end?
I think overall we controlled quite well the game, knowing that against them you are going to concede some chances, especially counter-attacker, for the skills of the players. You know, Rashford in behind, Garnacho in behind, the striker in behind. So we knew that. I think we did the most difficult thing in this stadium against this team, that is come back after when they score. So we were down, we come back immediately, and probably after the 1-1, because of the desire to try to win the game, we exposed ourselves too much, and in the last 10 minutes, probably we concede a bit more. But overall, I'm happy, and in Italy we used to say, when you cannot win, important you don't lose. So at the end, we try everything to win the game. At the end, we didn't win the game, but it's important to continue in this direction.
David?
Ciao Enzo. Moses Caicedo scored the goal. It's just another example of how it's growing into the role.
Yeah.
What do you think about it? What do you see today in general?
Yeah, since
I think we're sped up here, which
uh,
is good.
since we arrived, Mo is doing fantastic.
Yeah, 1.25.
I said during the week probably the problem with Moy, with Denso, with these kind of players is because the club pay them big money, so people expect always to be the best, but at the end they are
Always
players,
an
they are human
interesting
beings,
take,
so
right?
it's normal
But
to have a little bit up and down.
Caicedo does seem
But
to be
Moy, since
coming
we
through.
arrived, is improving a lot.
making
We
it
are
happen.
trying to spend time
Fernandez
with,
not
with
so
all the rest
much.
also to improve them, and I think Moy is showing how good is.
Really
Sorry.
is.
Just in terms of that, what is the difference between a player playing well, really well for Brighton, and then coming to Chelsea with more pressure and having to hit the same standards?
Yeah. First of all, most of the time in football, 1 + 1 is not 2. I mean, in terms of, because he was so good at Brighton, that means that immediately when he joined Chelsea, he's going to be as good as he was there. Probably he needs a little bit more time, he needs adapt. Chelsea is a big club, one of the best clubs in the world, so also the impact is not easy. And as I said, when they join Chelsea, because we pay them a lot of money, we think, okay, now they're going to arrive here and they want to be the best. But it's not so
It's crazy to think
automatic.
that
That's why I said
Caicedo
1 +
is
1
the
is not 2. You
most
need probably
expensive
a bit,
Premier League
a bit
player
time.
of all time.
And now Moy, I think, is showing how
It's
good
crazy,
he
but,
was
I
and
mean,
he is this year.
If the result wasn't
Okay.
any indication of that, his performance
Cole Palmer
certainly was
was
against
fit,
Manchester
hurt
United.
again. Let's have just checking if he's okay.
Clayton!
He was there in the changing room with Dice, so we are waiting now. Hopefully, it's
Look
nothing
who it
important.
is.
And then I know that you are going to ask me
I've been I thought about you recently. Definitely great to see him have a great game. Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you for, even though you're not a Chelsea fan, appreciating a great game from Caicedo. Yeah, I think it was maybe his best performance in a Chelsea shirt. One of them.
about the
One of the
referee
best.
decision. They show me before
about
the press
Liverpool,
conference. I
though?
think
I
it's
mean,
quite clear, but it's quite clear almost for
couldn't-
all of us.
we
But
couldn't
the
do it
referee is there
against
to
you
take a
guys.
decision, and he took a
But
different,
it was a good
different
game.
decision.
It was a
That's all
really
we
good
talked about,
game. And I thought about you.
Yeah, I just said that for me, when there is not intention to go for the ball and you just go for the player, it's red.
Simon.
You guys in first?
Enzo, back to Roy. Do you think you have one of the best midfielders
Yeah, you are in
the league
first.
now, or do you think he has
Son of a
more
bitch.
to do to sort of warrant that title?
How are you
I think I
liking
have one of the best
Arne
squad in the
Slot?
Premier League, no doubt about this. And Moy belonged to the squad. But I know that you are always in my press conference, and since I arrived, I said that the first thing I said to the club when I met the club is that I was in love with the squad, because I think this squad is very good. So for me, we are one of the best squad in the Premier League. I said many times that the talent is not enough. We need to build more things, but we are in the
Yeah, that's, well, we've got a midweek game before that in the Conference League, and then I believe we're right on to Arsenal. Yeah, I mean it should be good. I don't know, and it's a really tough situation, isn't it? Right now, we're neck and neck. We're just ahead of Arsenal. Who would have expected that? Who would have expected that? They really dropped off Arsenal, but they're just doing Arsenal things, right? So you like Slot? Slotted right in. Yeah, it's working. For some reason, I want to say this. It seems like you guys are going to fall off. Something's going to happen. And you guys aren't going to play as well anymore. But it just doesn't happen, does it? I don't know.
right direction.
Chris.
On that, talking about Cole Palmer, he just catching him high
Gooners.
with the knee.
What is
Is
their
there any reason why he doesn't
Pull it up right here.
No, to be honest, I didn't say nothing. As I said, I just said him that when there is not intention to go for the ball and you go for the player, for the legs, there is no doubt about the decision. And he just said like this, but the game was finished already.
Lose to Newcastle.
I think it's quite clear that
Draw
it's
you
red.
guys
Yeah.
at least. And the lost to
good.
Bournemouth. They got that
Thank you,
red
thank you.
card. That really affected the situation. Oh yeah, he was just talking about that red card, or the potential red card. Maresca thinks that should have obviously been a red card on Cole Palmer, which we're about to talk through. Did you see it by any chance, Clayton? Yeah, so I'm going to actually try and show things. Hopefully I don't get completely you saw it. Of course you did. You're a real Premier Leaguer. Yeah, I'm gonna try and show it without getting banned here. But first things first, so first thing I wanted to bring up here, send off offenses. I'll bring it down. Sending off offenses. Some people don't realize there's a lot of things you can get sent off for, and it changes all the time. Like, look at that last one, entering the video operation room. Like, they threw that in there, man. Like, I don't know that they ever expected that to happen. Do they even know where the video operation room is? But, so what we're looking at here was serious foul play. There's nothing else. Like, if we're talking about a foul that breaks the threshold, we're talking about serious foul play. If you're talking about a caution, you'll hear this talked about. Also, there's 3 kinds of fouls, really, right? There's 3 kinds. There's a careless foul. That would be no extra action needs to be taken. Then there will be reckless foul, which means, it was a reckless foul that could possibly hurt another player, but it was unintentional, et cetera, and it just transpired that way. I mean, I'm maybe extrapolating a little bit, and then the third type of foul is obviously serious foul play, and that is, as I will pull up over here, clearly defined in the laws. And as a tackle or challenge that endangers the safety of an opponent or uses excessive force, that's something you really gotta note. Excessive force or brutality must be sanctioned as serious foul play. Any player who lunges at, and it goes on, any player who lunges at an opponent in challenging for the ball from the front, from the side, or from behind, using one or both legs with excessive force, they say it again, or endangers the safety of an opponent is guilty of serious foul play. Now, why do I bring that up? And why do I keep stressing excessive force? Why? Because it's important in this situation. And, far be it from me to say I'm a referee, so this is what it is, and that is all that it is. If you watch football, soccer, whatever you want to call it, Clayton, and other people in here, you know that not every referee sees things the same, and that referee might change his mind at various points in the game. That is called it's still consistency, but we could talk about consistency another time. People often misdefine the referee consistency. In short, I know there's a digression, but you have various moments in a game, and as long as you're consistent within the moments of play, then or periods of play, you could say you can be consistent. But moving on, so point is serious foul play. You have to look at the language, and you have to make a decision based on that. And if you bring up, we go to chapter meetings for referees, and they'll bring up some they'll have like a whole slideshow of videos of contentious or controversial referee decisions. And then they'll ask all the referees in the room, okay, who thinks this is just a careless foul? And everybody will raise their hand, and they'll say, and it'll be like 10 people. And then the next one, it'll be who thinks it's a cautionable offense or a reckless foul? And you'll have a bunch of hands go up. And then who thinks it's serious foul play? And then you'll have more hands going up, right? So it's just one of those things that's always going to be subjective, but you have to think about language in the law, as any lawyer might, and try and compel a jury or a judge to take their definition on of it, or use precedent, if you will, although you don't have so much. You have some precedent in the game. But anyway, so now we'll look at now that we've done that, let's have a look at the actual let's have a look at the tackle if they let me do this. Oh, gotta get rid of that. Okay, here we go. I'll get that, enlarge it, So I'm going to show it through. I cut this up into about 8 seconds. The live play, and then the first angle that they show, which I think is probably the best angle to understand this. And let's see if I get struck. So here's the foul, and here it is in slow motion, and this is the best angle, right? Okay. So obviously, the really bad part of all this is that it's late. Cole pulls off like, a sick Cole move that only Cole will do. He's such a freaking star. I'm surprised we got so far 67% Erling Haaland. I mean, I guess I'm not that surprised. But, I mean, Cole is such a special player, isn't he? Like, Erling Haaland gets the goals, and he's such a savage, right? And for the sheer amount of goals that he scores, you think, yeah, I guess he has the best chance at becoming a Ballon d'Or winner. But just, like, on sheer style and uniqueness, Cole Palmer is him. Right? Who's better than Cole Palmer right now in the Premier League? I don't know that there's a better, more flashy, and effective player than Cole Palmer. I mean, as far as goal contributions here, right? We're talking, if we go to, I know we're doing a lot of Chippy Chips is so smooth with it. Chippy Chips. Wow, you're in tune, man. You're not even a Chelsea fan, and you're in tune. But look, top rated as far as Fatmov goes. Where's the goal contributions? Pretty sure he's top. It doesn't have here. It's not saying them. Oh, here, you got to go to stats. Goals and assists, 12. So he's tied with Mohamed Salah. So Mohamed Salah's in there too. He's not really getting any votes right now. But yeah. So, I mean, who's better than Cole? Nobody really. But okay, so obviously people are going to notice that it's late. Cole Palmer does Cole Palmer things. Lissandro Martinez, he's kind of got too much momentum going, but doesn't leave his feet really. Okay, he almost leaves his feet, right? Look at him. He almost leaves his feet. Almost. He doesn't go to ground even, right? And that is worthy of note. Okay, he doesn't go to ground. That's number one. Other thing to note, obviously, this is the part that people are going to point at. Those studs are up on, you can't see my cursor now, right? Yeah. Those studs are up on that knee. That's high as hell, right? Super high. But as far as leaving, he doesn't leave his feet, and you see he kind of stops himself a little bit. He goes to grab, obviously, because he's like, I'm past it. Obviously, he's going to the left. I'm past it. And then he sees it go to the right, and Cole's going that way, and he lifts the leg instinctively, and okay. And the studs are up and on the knee. And so this is why I kept repeating excessive force, because this applies to a lot of, this applies to even not serious foul play. If we're talking about a misconduct, meaning not a foul, but a red cardable, a sending off offense, as you could see over here, sending off offenses. Not all of them are fouls, right? It's serious foul play. We're talking about serious foul play, but that's just only in a fouling situation, right? You can get sent off for violent conduct, violent conduct is not during play. Violent conduct is like the play's over and you go and you punch somebody in the face. Or if you headbutt. Have you ever seen somebody go to headbutt somebody and they do kind of do a little forehead tap and then they only get a yellow card and it gets reviewed and it's not a red card? This is because the force is actually taken into consideration as it is in serious foul play. So the reason I keep saying serious foul play is for that very reason. It says excessive force, and we need to consider that. And he doesn't leave his feet. And I think that's the exact reason why VAR doesn't ask the referee to even go look at the monitor, right? He doesn't say VAR could say, go to the monitor, go check it out again, referee. But they don't even say that. Why? And I think it's because of the force of it. I think there's not enough force. He doesn't leave his feet. He sort of pulls here, if you see again, he pulls his foot back out. You could see he pulls it back. He doesn't really touch him very strongly, does he? So I think this is one of those situations that if this exact play was pulled up at a referee meeting, this is one of those that you'd have. I don't know. You might have more in the red card. You might have more referees raising their hand for red card sending off. But I think you're going to have some raise their hand for caution, honestly. And so that's why I would say this is an orange card offense. And you'll hear that a lot. Orange card. It's like it could be a yellow card, could be a red card. In this case, it was determined to be a yellow card. It wasn't even enough for the VAR to recommend that the referee go to the monitor and check it out to see if it's possibly a red card. So orange card territory. And even though I'm a Chelsea fan, I have to say I'm going to be okay with the yellow card on it. That's my opinion. So that's done. Done and done. And the truth remains, it didn't really matter, did it? Yeah, I mean, look, if it's definitely endangering the opponent's safety, then maybe you're a red card guy. Maybe you're gonna say this was a red card. And I think that would be okay. I think it wouldn't be terrible if a referee gave a red card here. But I'm not too offended by the yellow card. I'm not too offended by it. I don't think there was excessive force. I don't think that he left his feet. I don't think that and I think it certainly wasn't intentional, but it was like reactive. But I don't think there was excessive force, me personally. There wasn't a lot of force on that stamp, but again, studs up in the knee area, you know. But it wasn't enough for the VAR and I'm not too offended by it. The beauty of it, the beauty of the situation is, doesn't matter that much, does it? It was like in extra time, in like the last minute of extra time. I don't think Chelsea fans are going to be too peeved, even if they thought it was a red card. What were they going to get? You know, a minute, man up. I mean, Lisandro Martinez just has got to be happy with the outcome there, right? And that's that. Nothing else to say about that. Next, we are moving on, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, by the way, if you're in here and you aren't subscribed to the channel, do yourself a favor. Do me a favor. Like the stream. Maybe subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell if you want to know when we go live. I'm not exactly the biggest notification bell type of guy, but hey, look, here I am going live at 7 p.m. on a Monday. That is not a normal thing for me. Haven't made the decision. I mean, we're only 26 episodes into this show. So, you know, we're still deciding things. And until we sort of solidify a time where everybody wants to be around and engage in the chat, like Clayton over here is doing a great job getting the conversation going, it's up in the air when I'll go live. So maybe you do want to hit the notification bell, but more importantly, maybe you want to hit the subscribe button, because we are a growing channel and every single subscriber I get just pushes me that much more to make more content, to make more shorts, to do some pre-recorded stuff, and do more lives. So that is my marketing pitch. Help me help you is the bottom line, right? Okay. So moving on. Next thing we're going to do is head over to the Daily Mail for a little bit of interesting news. Maybe Frank Lampard is getting into his next signing. And they have that story over at the Daily Mail. Frank Lampard, Super Frank, has been out of work since May last year when he left his role as caretaker manager at Chelsea, but the former Chelsea, Everton, and Derby County boss could soon be set for a return to the dugout. According to La Gazzetta dello Sport, Lampard has emerged as a candidate to replace Ivan Juric at Roma, who literally just got there after taking over from Mourinho. As you know, Mourinho got sacked. He was not too happy about it. Juric is still in charge at the Stadio Olimpico, but his position is said to be very vulnerable following a fifth defeat of the season on Sunday when Roma lost 3-2 at Verona. The Friedkin Group, led by Dan Friedkin, have reportedly already started sounding out possible replacements. I don't know Lampard, but I'm a big Lampard fan, but he's not had great success in the managerial market field, has he? He's not exactly a sure thing, is he? But maybe he's just, huge name, gets people coming, and then you never know. You get lucky. He is a very smart guy. We know that. Paulo Sousa has been cited as the leading candidate, while Roberto Mancini and Claudio Ranieri are also realistic options. Lampard is apparently on that list too, having been recommended by some of his former colleagues from his Everton days. Everton sacked Lampard in January 2023 after he had been in charge at Goodison Park for just under 12 months. Again, he's not the most successful manager, so I don't know if this makes a whole lot of sense, but it could be good for Lampard. Get away from England, do as some other English managers have done, go elsewhere, try and get some experience elsewhere, and then come back to where the sharks circle the boat, right, in England. And I'm referring to the media in England. They are kind of, Italian media ain't too shabby themselves. Yeah, that's the news there. So possibly Frank Lampard going over to Roma. Man, the guys over at Sky Sports, it was Roy Keane, Frank Lampard. Speaking of Frank Lampard, and Jamie Redknapp had a good amount to say about this game, and I was thinking about playing some of this. You know what? I'm gonna skip it. But they basically said the game was boring. They were not too happy with it. But there's not much there. But it is always nice to check in with Roy Keane and Frank Lampard and Jamie Redknapp. Jamie Redknapp is slowly morphing into his father, so Harry Redknapp, which is awesome because I love Harry Redknapp. He's hilarious. But whatever happened to Harry Redknapp? He hasn't been around yet much, has he? When was the last time we heard from him? It's been a minute. He's so hilarious, though. Okay, but you know what we will do? Let's go on over to Instagram and check out what the boys are saying on the grams. All right, here we go. Engage. Young Chaloba, my guy. I told one of the other watchers of this channel, subscribers to this channel, Daniel Stock, that Young Chaloba, we have like a little thing going. If Young Chaloba, as his name is over here, his name's Trevo, obviously, but if he gets on the English national team, then I will be vindicated in my love for Chaloba, because nobody else seems to rate him. Well, that's not true. Lots of people rate him. Lots of Chelsea fans rate him, but none of the managers apparently. Like Pochettino didn't rate him that much apparently. Maresca doesn't rate him. He's off to Crystal Palace, and he's really into Jesus and the Lord. Credit to him, but solid point and hard-fought battle yesterday from the team. Yeah, that's Young Chalaba. Here's Pedro Neto's story. Yeah, man, that was hilarious. He kept the ball in real nicely there. That was a good moment. Look at that. That was beautiful. I mean, he is spry as all hell, isn't he, Pedro Neto? And he's so damn fast. What a player. That was a good get. Caicedo. I don't know if I'll get banned for this. Will I get banned for this? This is Caicedo's goal. Boom, baby! Yes. Can't stop. Won't stop. All right. More Young Chalaba. Look at him posting proverbs and stuff. Oof. Lavia. It's a great shot. I put that on the thumbnail, actually, of this live stream. Colwell. Kukurea. Cute. Very cute. Thiago Silva, our boy. Keeps in it real over in Brazil. Okay. Mudryk psyched that he got like 3 minutes on the pitch and did almost nothing. The best contribution that Mudryk had to the game was getting out of the way of Caicedo's strike, wasn't it? Let's be real. Oh, man. I don't know why Maresca keeps playing him. Wouldn't you have played Nkunku, Clayton? I mean, I would have put Nkunku on. I mean, 15 minutes left in regular time. you have a choice. You need a goal. And we needed 2 goals to win the game. We were down by 1 goal, and he puts on. To be fair, Madueke wasn't doing great, but not usual Madueke. But is Mudryk going to save you? Really? I'll tell you. That good performance he had in the Conference League is really going against Chelsea fans. Sancho couldn't play, wasn't eligible because he technically is a Manchester United player. Fofana. This is Kendry, one of our wonder kids. Is that? Oh, that is him. That looks like Enzo, isn't it? X Factor. What are you talking about, Clayton? X Factor. You're not saying Mudryk was the good X Factor, eh? Joao. Honestly, I would have brought Joao on before I brought freaking Mudryk on. I mean, like, what the hell? Enzo, not the greatest performance, man. He's fallen off. Whoa. Look at this. Even noticed this. Huh. Maybe that has something to do with why he's not starting. I mean, hopefully not. Hopefully Maresca's just recognizing that he shouldn't be starting over Lavia right now. He needs to get benched, this kid. I mean, I do believe in Enzo. Yeah, I think Maresca's doing really well. I think there's some questionable decisions. There have been some questionable decisions lately, but I think overall, yes, the arc is good. We're progressing. He's getting a lot of credit for what Pochettino certainly started. I really do think that. I was not in favor of sacking Pochettino. Feel like he is coming to a consistent 11. Yeah, sure. But now he's having to make this decision. Now he's starting to do this weird thing the last 2 matches, which doesn't seem to quite be working out, which is to have Reece James on the left and Malo Gusto on the right. Now, whether you think out of the 3 players, Cucurella, James, and Gusto, that Gusto and James are the better at 2 out of 3, I'm not sure it quite works for balancing the team, right? I knew this could be a problem. And at the moment, James is not at his best. So I kind of almost think that Cucurella and Gusto might be the better choice for the fullbacks right now. But it always seems to be the case with James. And I've said this before, that whenever he comes back from injury, I think he's like next to Cole Palmer, probably our best player, right? Maybe better than, I wouldn't say better than Cole Palmer, obviously, off the back of the performances these last 2 seasons for Cole Palmer. No way. I mean, he's insane. He's a savage. He's world class. But James is world class too. But whenever he comes back from injury, he just never performs at his best. Just doesn't do it, does he? So I don't know. It's tough to say. And I think like I said, he's made the right choice with dropping Fernandez and putting Lavia in, because Lavia's been on it and Fernandez hasn't been on it. He's going to have to work his way back into the team, and players need to learn that. We have a very, very young team. Lavia is like 21, 22. Fernandez is like 23 maybe. It's a young team. Yeah, something's wrong with the hand there. Maybe he's working on his strength here. Enzo, that's putting on weight and doing pull-ups, man. Serious. Ooh, November squad announcement. That'll be good. Full details. Maybe we need to get full details here. Why is it Lee Carsley there? Oh, is he back to doing Lee Carsley? Is he back to doing the under 21s or some shit? I don't know. We'll see. Obviously, it's too cool for the men's team. All right. Diego Costa, my guy. Where the hell is he? Gremio? What a boss. Gotta love him. Honestly, if I'm honest though, Clayton, as far as like Liverpool goes, like I said before, I kind of I keep feeling like they're gonna fall off, and I don't know, but I don't know, man. Slot, do you really think he's that good? Is he really doing it? Is he like making an impression, or what? How are Liverpool fans taking him? This was oh no, he's not trying. Yellow shirt is only a yellow card. Jose Mourinho just getting into trouble here. What the hell is he saying? Look at him. Who's posting? This is not Jose. What is going on here? What's with the emoji? Just imagine Jose Mourinho sitting on his phone. Yeah. Nobody knows what's going on in the Turkish Super League. But apparently somebody's punching the ball with their hand. That's obviously, that's a former Liverpool player here, right? Soyuncu, isn't it? Soyuncu is his name? Right? You would know this, Clayton. Soyuncu? Wasn't he at Liverpool? No. I'm dumb. He was at Leicester City. But I did get his name right. He was at Leicester City for a hot second. 5 years. I thought he got picked up. All right. Guess I was wrong. Something happened there, and Mourinho didn't get the decisions. We posted it. It's so ridiculous. Just starting to use Instagram, eh? Mason Mount. My dream thing for Chelsea was that Declan Rice would come back, Mason Mount would elevate. This was a couple of years ago, obviously, and become the player, the fully self-actualized player that he should have been. And Declan Rice would come back, and they're like best friends, and they would just boss that midfield, and it would be just like a real feel-good Chelsea experience. And then Arsenal, and then Mason Mount left, and then Arsenal bought Declan Rice. And my dreams came to an end. Juan Mata Garcia over in Sydney, still playing, still selling fake doors. If you're a Rick and Morty fan. What a player. Asmir Begovic. I guess NBA going to London. Wouldn't it be great if the Premier League, English people would hate this. Absolutely hate this if Premier League games were played outside of England. They would probably riot, honestly. But, there's a lot of NBA games, and they do NBA games in England. They do NFL games. All right, so Clayton Twiddle on Liverpool. I can only speak for myself, but I think he's slowly opening up. I like the more calculated play, but can still pick up the tempo when they need it. I need more time to see, but it seems solid. So solid, but it ain't quite heavy metal football yet, is it? He's Dutch, right? He's Dutch. Or is he German? No, he's Dutch. Yeah. I don't know. Was he player? He must have been a player. Yeah. Okay, so before Liverpool, he was Feyenoord. Before that, AZ. And before that, Cambor. Is Cambor? Okay. Also Dutch. They're in the second tier of Dutch football. Okay. Didn't play at the top level, eh? PEC Zwolle. Oh, I guess they are in the Eredivisie, but they're not like a European powerhouse or anything. Sparta Rotterdam. Yeah. Heard of them. Okay. Back to Instagram. Okay. Yep. So Asmir Begovic enjoying his NBA time. Renato Vega, possible player for the future at Chelsea. Honestly, very, very quality. Honestly, I think he's gonna be good. Nemanja Matic. Is he still? Oh, he's playing for Lyon right now. Isn't it? David Luiz, my guy. Still love Luiz. How can you not love Luiz? Callum Hudson-Odoi. He actually just came out with a long form interview with what was it? I think I saved it to my watch later. But where is he? Yeah, I'm gonna check that out for sure. Callum Hudson-Odoi, Rising Ballers.
For a 23-year-old footballer.
Yeah. Let's see over here. Oh, it's showing my own here. For watching live. There you go. Yeah, definitely check that out. Rising Ballers. Hudson-Odoi opens up on Chelsea injuries in the future. So if you're a Chelsea fan and a fan of Callum Hudson-Odoi, maybe it's worth going to check that out. Look at him over here doing well. He scored a goal at made some money off that game. I like to follow up. I mean, I'm sure you do too, as far as Liverpool players go. Go follow up on players that leave the club that you kind of liked or whatever. There you go. He posted Rising Ballers. I could have just gone to the next story.
It's Liverpool. I remember this game as well. I scored like 12 goals or something like this. And then on the same day, they took me upstairs and signed me. And normally like a thing like that, you have to go upstairs and do the 6-week trial with them and see if you get in or you don't. But yeah, the same day, I went upstairs, signed. Then I was officially a Chelsea player from there.
Don't look too upset about it, bro. Didn't quite work out. Hey. It is what it is, bro. It is what it is. Oh, look at this. What's going on here? Willian. Where the hell is Willian now? I don't even know. Is he? He's not in the Premier League, is he? Who's he playing for? Is he in Brazil? Oh, Olympiacos. Olympiacos. What a player. What a freaking player. Okay. We go back. Check out what Caicedo is posting. What do you mean? Oh, he's watching the Fulham match? He doesn't post about the Chelsea match, dude? Come on, bro. Maybe he did. Caicedo obviously showing his goal. He's so hype. It was a pretty darn good goal, to be fair. Nicholas Jackson posting it. I'm probably going to get in trouble with YouTube if I play all these. Jorgensen. Nobody cares, bro. John Terry.
Knows my past now, like my house was over.
I definitely can't play that. Gonna get copyrighted here. What the hell is John Terry up to? Just running? Posting stories of him running?
As soon as John told us that we were the recipients of his golf day, we were
What's that?
on wishes with John
Eyeballs?
for many years, and we've seen. This is from your brother.
John Terry Foundation. Yeah, he's always posting a bunch of stuff. Good for him.
Go on, Andy. Let's go on, Andy. Go on, Andy. Let's go on.
Is that Georgie Terry? Or Summer Terry? His daughter, I think that's her name. Is she playing? I don't know. Essien. When Daddy calls. That's Essien. Michael when Daddy calls Essien. That's how he described when Mourinho called him to play for Real Madrid, come on loan. He said when Daddy called you go. Maatsen left Chelsea to not get any minutes at Aston Villa, to go to Borussia Dortmund, play a bunch, and then sign for Aston Villa and not get any minutes at all. Some people were actually upset about Ian Maatsen leaving, to be fair. I don't know. Some people were like, really thought that he was that guy. And maybe he is, and I'm not hip to it. Oh, look at Ian Wright. Everybody must have seen the Ian Wright video where like his like teacher from, I don't know, grammar school or something comes through and he's like, oh my God, he's just losing it. That's a great moment. Kendry. Look at this. Fernando Torres. Trip down memory lane. Man, I was so hyped when we picked up Torres. Speaking of Liverpool, I loved Fernando Torres at Liverpool, even though I'm not supposed to. But he was so awesome, and how he would just turn and score, and just so unique in the way that he scored and the way he linked up with like Gerrard and I don't know, Dirk Kuyt maybe. And then he came and it was a no. It was a big fat no, wasn't it? Liverpool fans probably so hype about that. Like really upset that he left for Chelsea, and then when he got here and just ate shit, probably so hype about it. To be fair though, he got a ton of he did win a lot with us. Mudryk. Don't even post Mudryk. Oh, this is Panathinaikos. Look, he doesn't have his comments on. That's sad, man. Although he's getting 380,000 likes. Doesn't have his comments on, man. 2 million followers. Damn, where's he getting all his followers from? Nobody likes Mudryk at Chelsea. Probably not from Chelsea. Maybe it's Ukraine fans. Look at Garnacho. Bro, stop. Tosin, actually, I'm a little surprised how good he is. I think Tosin's quality. Probably better than Benoit. Definitely better than frickin' Disasi. Sorry, buddy. Casadei. Actually one for the future. Yeah. Nicholas Jackson. Coming along, but still maybe doesn't have what it takes to be at the top. You know? I don't know. I'm not convinced yet still. Reese. Yeah, these are old. Oh, there was some funny actually. Had a message or two here. Look at this moment in the United game that's going around. Look at this moment. Cole Palmer. Look at this. Oh. What? Gee, dude. Are you kidding me? Look at that. Gotta see it again. Please, dude. Come on. You're kidding me, right? Like, this kid is him. Look at Lavia challenging. If Lavia doesn't challenge there, oh my God. Go watch that all day. Honestly. Some of the comments. Let's see some of the comments here. Bro broke his leg for a nutmeg. How can he flick the foot? Cole Palmer, innit? Cold Palmer. Air fake shot nutmeg. Like, he doesn't even surprise me anymore, this guy. Masterclass for real. Messy type of touch, innit? The Ligt had him on lock. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go like that, really. Yeah. No, he's a genius. Yeah. Have to admit here. Straight genius. This is hilarious. This is really Arteta. Is that Arteta? Looks like Arteta. Some of the comments on this. Raising the fucking standards. Trying to get on top of the table. Bit weird this. Why are people recording him clearly having fun with his kids? Strange behavior. I'm not sure this is actually Arteta. Is this really? Imagine you having a smoke with the boys and you see this. Is that really Arteta though? Is it Arteta? I'm not sure that's Arteta. Like, this doesn't seem like this is where Arteta lives. I'm not sure this is Arteta. Let's look it up. Arteta swing backyard. Let's see if anybody says on. We have to investigate this if it's actually Arteta or not. Arteta swing. It's really not on Twitter, eh? Let's see. Arteta backyard swing. Nah. Latest. Really? Does he even have a... He does have a official account. I'm just going to say that really ain't Arteta. All right. I think that about does it. Oh, before we close up shop here, guys, if you're in the channel, haven't done it yet, haven't been here before, have been here before, but just was a stalker the entire time, do yourself a favor. Do me a favor. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Get into the chat like Clayton over here. Doing a solid. Getting all the opinions and hot takes in the chat box for everybody to see. Or maybe he's responding to my hot takes, but that's also a possibility. But yeah, go ahead and do yourself a favor and get on the subscription list before it's too late and you're just another number. No, you'll never be another number, but you do want to get in early, like anybody who likes to get in early when it's a big band and they want to say, hey, I liked that band before everybody else liked the band, so I'm cooler than you. You can do that with this channel. I'm giving you permission. Hit the subscribe button, come back, get in on the lives, hit the notification bell if you want to know when the lives are happening. Otherwise, just take a chance and scroll on YouTube and find me there, because that happens too. The more subscriptions, the more likes I get, the more pre-recorded content I'll put out, the more time I could spend doing this, even though I really want to spend a lot more time. So if you just do it, I'll be getting the right feedback to know that I can go ahead and make something bigger and better and badder out of this. So go ahead and do that. Thanks everybody who is in here, everybody who came by, anybody who's watching this after the fact, after the stream. I appreciate you. And until next time, fam, please live football and prosper as one definitely should. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Soccer? But it's really called football. Soccer? The creators called it football. Soccer? You know, you play it with your feet, reading between the headlines. Soccer? But it's really called football.